Hello everyone. Today we're going to show you how to set any network connection in Windows 10 as a metered connection. Okay everyone, so if you're watching this video you probably already know that Microsoft does give you the ability to set Wi-Fi connections as metered connections, but they don't give you the ability to set Ethernet connections as metered. And they don't give you the ability to default all your connections to metered connections. So before we get into how to do this, let's discuss briefly why you might want to set your connection as metered. Well, for one, if you have limited data on your connection, you're going to want to limit the amount of data that Windows 10 is going to use by setting the connection as metered. But there's a couple other benefits even if you have unlimited data that you're going to get. For example, if you want to disable the automatic downloading of Windows updates, the other thing that happens when you set a connection as metered is app updates from the Microsoft Store will not be downloaded automatically either. Further, peer-to-peer uploading of updates using the delivery optimization is going to be disabled. Tiles may not update. And lastly, other apps may behave differently as well. But what we're going to do is modify the registry. And if you do run into problems, you can always change the connection back to an unmetered connection. So this is a little more than a basic registry edit, but I'm just going to go ahead and say, whenever you're editing the registry, make sure you have a full backup of your system if anything happens, so you can get back to a working system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up regedit. And I'm going to get out of what I had open here. We do want to be in HKey local machine, software, Microsoft. We want Windows NT, current version, and we want network list. And the area we're going to focus on is the default media cost. As you can see, 3G and 4G by default are set to 2. That's a metered connection. But we can see the default is an unmetered connection. Ethernet is an unmetered connection. And our Wi-Fi connection is unmetered as well. So the first thing we're going to need to do in order to be able to change these settings is we're going to need to change the permissions on this registry key, because by default we're not going to have permission to make any changes in here. So we're going to right click on the default media cost, we're going to left click permissions, we're going to click advanced. Under owner we're going to change, and we're going to type in administrators. We want the local administrators group, and we're going to replace the owner on subcontainers and objects and say OK. Then we're going to go down to the administrators group, and we're going to grant the administrators group full control and say OK. Now, if you just want to set your Ethernet connection, you can double click the registry key and change the value to 2. If you want to default all the connections to metered, you can double click the default and set that value to 2. And if you want to default all your Wi-Fi connections to metered, you can double click Wi-Fi and set that to 2. Lastly, if for any reason you need to change these back, you simply want to double click and set them back to 1, and that'll restore the default behavior. So that really is all there is to it. Once you change these settings and you reboot your machine, your connection will be metered. Folks, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other YouTubers find quality content, and we really appreciate it. Click the subscribe button and then click the bell to get notified whenever new content is added. As always, comments, questions, and suggestions are welcome below, and we thank you very much for watching.